late wrap up of Monday Night Raw and the Late Night Raw reaction show by me, Geek Point Medicine. Yes, welcome to the show. Just to say, as per usual, this will be on YouTube podcasts, hopefully sort of tomorrow afternoon, and it will be on YouTube video. So if you miss it tonight, not a problem, you can listen to it tomorrow. Very sorry for being delayed, for 3 or 4 minutes. Truth be told, I've literally just finished watching Monday Night Raw. Basically, it's taken me about 2 days to watch Monday Night Raw, and it's just been it's been absolute chaos, basically. Long story short, hi Johnny, I can see you there, by the way, mate. I will definitely touch on that, don't worry. So it's just taken me ages to write it in, basically watch the whole thing, and it's been a bit of faff and everything. So I'll talk to you about some bits and pieces that are coming up in a minute in terms of live streams that do include Liverpool Football Club, don't worry, and stuff that I've got going on the weekend and various other things. But I'll just go very quickly through a couple of bits and pieces of what happened to Raw. But first, let me read Johnny's things. No football. Well, Johnny, I've got my live reaction coming up to Manchester City at the weekend, so don't worry, I am gonna cover that. I'm actually gonna go and watch it, hopefully with a few of the lads on Sunday. How to put this? I've got the day off on Monday, so the reaction could end up being on Monday as opposed to Sunday night if you smell what the Rock is cooking. Anyway, Vert's live stream, he was very good last night, wasn't he? We did smash Real Madrid. Yes. I will definitely, don't worry, I will definitely be mentioning Real Madrid. I have been basking in that most of the day. I've just written a Substack article that I will link to you guys as well, because I'm a bit of a writer as well, that I've mentioned before, in which basically, excuse my language, I have just thoroughly taken the piss out of Real Madrid. By the way, if you are listening on the podcast later and you don't know what's going on, Liverpool basically beat Real Madrid last night. I despise and loathe Real Madrid more than any other Liverpool fan in the world, and I will take umbrage if anyone says they hate Madrid more than me. It was glorious. Liverpool absolutely smashed them. The fact it was 1-0 is a disgrace. It should have been... that match should have finished between 6 and 7-0, as far as I'm concerned. We were that much better than Real Madrid, and we thoroughly deserved to beat them, and they got humiliated. And I hope certain Scouser enjoyed it very, very much. However, before I get onto that, I've just watched Monday Night Raw. Like I said, to be honest, this one won't take too long. To be honest, I think Raw was good, but obviously those of you who've been watching me recently have noticed that I've been really high on Monday Night Raw. It's been so good, really enjoyed it. This one, just because the last 5, 6, 7 weeks have been really good, felt a bit out of place, because I'm not suggesting at all that it was a massive pile of crap. It was really good, but it wasn't as good as the more recent ones. Like the Raw about 2 or 3 weeks ago was sensational, the one they had from Australia, I think it was. But this one was okay. It wasn't too bad. I mean, the main thing for me, being a massive CM Punk fan, I've literally, I know this sounds a bit sad, but I've literally waited for that lad to have a title celebration in WWE since Money in the Bank, I'm guessing 2011, Summer of Punk, something along them lines. Just to see his celebration, I was absolutely made up. I mean, to be honest, I would have preferred, I know it sounds a bit daft as a CM Punk fan, but I would have preferred maybe it to have been at WrestleMania, at worst at the Royal Rumble. Obviously, I know why they kind of had to go with Punk as the championship, because I think, to be honest, the plan was for Seth to hold the belt until Mania, then Punk was going to take it off him. They would have a massive celebration. Hooray, I finally won at WrestleMania in the main event, blah, blah, blah. Everyone goes home happy, and etc. But obviously, they've had to pivot now that Seth Rollins is injured. I mean, maybe it could have gone someone else. I mean, my suggestion was LA Knight, just to carry it through to maybe December, because I think LA really deserves a run at being the guy. But look, at the end of the day, I'm a massive CM Punk fan, and honestly, the last few days have been awesome, because just to mention Liverpool again, sorry to keep mentioning Liverpool, but on the night we beat Aston Villa, basically I went out with all the boys, had rather a bit to drink, and then basically I came back and watched CM Punk won the title, and then I did a live stream that one or two of you may remember. I wouldn't say I was impaired, but put it this way, after the live stream, I celebrated a lot more and then regressed it the next day, but it was still totally worth it. But yeah, no, it was great to see Punk being able to celebrate. I really liked his promo about the fact that he was just mentioning so many people's names that he could fight. Like, obviously, he brought up Dom Mysterio, he brought up Sheamus. I love the fact he brought up AJ Styles. I would love to see AJ Styles versus CM Punk. That'd be awesome. They definitely need to do it now. I love the fact he brought up McDonough and Balor as well. I don't know if that's a bit of foreshadowing, but hopefully, I mean, I'm going to get to the Judgment Day in a bit, but I think the Judgment Day will pretty much be gone in the next couple of months. I think they're basically going to split apart. I'd love to see Balor get another singles run because he's too good to just be second fiddle in the group. Finn Balor is one of the best, and Prince Devitt is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And I'd love to see him get to that sort of level because he just seems wasted there to me. So I'm glad he's brought up all these people who want to work. I mean, like I said, the Finn Balor and CM Punk program. I mean, for obviously independent, like back in the day, nerds like me. If you told me there was going to be a CM Punk Finn Balor program, I would be absolutely over the moon. But yeah, basically, obviously, a lot of you would have seen this, and you watched Raw like 48 hours ago, so I won't go over the whole thing. But obviously, the Bronze came out, and then we had the whole thing with Logan Paul when he came out. I did do a little mini vlog after that on Tuesday, which was, when was Tuesday? Yesterday morning before the Liverpool match where we beat Real Madrid, just in case anyone doesn't know. And yeah, obviously Raw ended with Logan Paul knocking out CM Punk, and I'll get to this in a minute. I'm still not sure whether I think this is a really bad idea or whether it's the most awesome pivot that I've ever seen. I'm really not too sure. I don't like Logan Paul, to be honest, as a human being. I think he's a bit of a it would rhyme with Rob, but I have to say he's a very, very good heel, and like he's taken to the business. I mean, the only one I can think of who's taken to the business better than Logan Paul is probably Kurt Angle from the outside, maybe Ronda at a push. By the way, I know this is a completely separate thing, but I am just going to go off on this for a second. I don't know if anyone watches Ariel Helwani. That's my Liverpool Cup, by the way. By the way, in case anyone didn't know, Liverpool beat Real Madrid 1-0 the other day, by the way, just in case you didn't hear. Yeah, so I know this has nothing to do with wrestling and such, but this thing with Ariel Helwani and Ronda Rousey is really getting on my nerves now. I don't mind Ariel. I know his thing is he is a bit of a heel and he interviews in that style, and that's fine. It's entitled to his opinion, but this bitching and moaning about Ronda Rousey is getting on my nerves at the minute. Like him just disparaging her and stuff. Like I'm one of the only people. I like Ronda. I just like the way she is. I like the way that she believes in herself and backs herself up, and she doesn't give a toss of people like her, and that's kind of very similar to my sort of way of thinking. Like, so I'm the same as Ronda. I couldn't really care less if people like me or not. But it's just this thing with Helwani, like going on about her. Like she did some sort of interview the other day, and she was talking about mental health struggles and this, that, and the other. And Helwani's like, oh, she's making excuses again, blah blah blah. It's like, mate, what the f has it got to do with you? You know what I mean? It's just like, what do you keep going after Ronda for? Like, what is it going to get you more subscribers or something? It's like, by the way, if you've got a problem with her, why don't you ring up the woman, ask her, invite her onto your podcast and actually have the conversation with her? Yeah, like I said, I know this has got nothing to do with wrestling, but I need to get that off my chest because Helwani is turning into a bit of a banker. Can't be rhyming song. And it's just like, mate, I'm not being rude, but you are like a very good podcaster, don't get me wrong, and you're a very good interview host and stuff. And this isn't me going after Ariel, but as I do respect him quite a lot, and I think he's one of the best in the business. But it's like, mate, that is your lane. Ronda Rousey is one of the best female fighters, champions of all time who's had a record of consecutive wins. that will probably never be matched. How's your MMA career going? If I had a mic, I'd drop it. Anyway, back to Raw. Sorry, I needed to get that off my chest. That really annoyed me. TRX, hi mate, you're alright, how you doing? So yeah, that was the sort of setup. What else did we have? Oh yeah, so the first match was Stephanie Vaquia and Nikki Bella versus Roxanne and Raquel. To be honest, I like all four ladies. I thought they could have done a little bit better, in my opinion. The match was just seems a little bit flat. I'm not Nikki Bella's biggest fan. I respect what she's done in the business, to be fair. But I don't know, the match just seems a little bit off to me. Not as good as I know all four of them can do. Roxanne and Raquel went over again. I've lost my train of thought. Oh yes, that's it. So Nikki Bella and Vaquer had a backstage later on the night as well, and I don't know if it's just me, but I reckon Nikki Bella's turning heel. Like, she keeps having these backstage conversations with Stephanie Vaquer and stuff, and it does look a bit heelish. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Nikki turns on Vaquer maybe next week, and then maybe they have some sort of match at Survivor Series, because it just seems a bit too nicey at the minute. I don't know. Excuse me again. Next we had Penta. We had Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser. Sorry, El Grande Americano, because obviously it's not Ludwig Kaiser. Clearly, again that match was kind of okay. It was what it was. Didn't think it was poor. I didn't think it was an absolute classic, to be fair. I love Penta's entrance, by the way. I love everything about Penta. I really hope they can get him sort of world title status, because I do think he could go that far. Intercontinental is probably a good level for him at the minute. Excuse me again. Honestly, folks, these winter bugs. Crikey. By the way, how else is everyone doing on this wonderful fireworks night? Those of us who live in South Leeds and Eastern are in for a long, long night, so I'm probably going to be up for about 4 hours with the locals carrying on. But yeah, no, I thought Pence was really good and really impressive again. The thing with El Grande Americano, by the way, that needs to end. It was quite funny at first, but it's just, could we just have the reveal, please? Because it's just gone on far too long. Let me just have a look. Daniela, how you doing, Daniela? You all right? Nice to see you. David Baker said hi. Hi, David. How you doing? You all right, pal? I think the next thing was Dominic Mysterio had the sort of promo battle with his dad. It was really good that they brought up Eddie, and I love the line when Mysterio, as in Father Mysterio, was talking about Eddie, and Dominic Mysterio turns around and says something along the lines of how dare you speak about my father in that manner. It's just like, if you, those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, basically back in the day, young Dominic Mysterio was involved in a custody of Dominic Mysterio match between, God rest his soul, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. So yeah, it was just a callback to that. That was pretty good. It seems to be setting up a feud between father and son. I know they probably want to work together, but they've kind of done it already, and it's like, do we have to go through this again, kind of thing. Look, I'm pleased Rey Mysterio's back, because you can program him with anyone. He's an absolute legend. I don't think this is what Dom needs at the minute. I thought he was going to announce that he was going to try and face John Cena, to be honest. But yeah, that was what it was. Then you had, there was a backstage with Bailey and Lyra. Sorry for those of you who never watched before. The reason I keep turning is there's a laptop here, because I am not the cleverest guy in the world, and I can't actually remember everything. There was this really weird promo of Becky Lynch, actually, which I really, really liked. Like, you know those promos where they sort of interrupt the commentators, then one of them will go and stand on like the announce desk and like berate the crowd. I absolutely loved Becky's promo. I thought it was really good. She just came across as really unhinged, like properly unstable. Going, I love her lines about Sports Illustrated and stuff. It was a really, really good promo. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I don't think it helped when I turned around to my vaunted wife and said, "Wow, she looks really unhinged." And then, forgetting myself, said, "Do you know, she kind of reminds me of you, love, to be honest." And I suddenly realised what I said, and I was like, "Oh crap." Yes, so apologies to the wife if you are listening upstairs. Let me just have a look. Red saw Red Saw Comfort. I'm just going to call you Red because I won't be able to remember that. Are you in Rotherham? I am not Red. I am, let me think, about 40 miles away from Rotherham in a tiny little city called Leeds. Yeah, so I'm in Yorkshire, but I'm in Leeds, mate. Liverpool bottle again. By the way, I don't know if I've mentioned, but Liverpool beat Real Madrid 1-0 last night, by the way. I can't remember if I've mentioned it or not. Anyway, oh, by the way, I don't know if anyone caught the Breaking Bad reference. I can't repeat what was said, but basically, Becky Lynch, when she was on top of the announce table, was just like, the only thing New Mexico is famous for is the fact that there was a den of drugs from a popular TV program, which was Breaking Bad. Obviously, I can't say what was the exact promo, but yes, I did think that was quite funny, to be honest. Next, by the way, I think Becky Lynch is going to turn face because she's so over, and I think it's just getting to the stage where, like, I mean, especially now if Seth comes back, 'cause I mean, Seth is going to have to come back as a babyface. I mean, he's going to have to now, especially if Logan ends up working with the Vision. I just think Bex naturally is going to end up turning into a babyface. I mean, how that's going to work with him, Punk, and whoever else, I don't know. But I think Becky definitely needs to turn. We had the Kabuki Warriors versus Bailey and Lyra. I think that was probably my match of the night for me. I always like watching Lyra Valkyria. I think she's improved leaps and bounds. I honestly, she's been so good to watch over the summer, and I just love the fact her personality's come out now. And yeah, no, I really enjoy watching Lyra's work. I think she's a tremendous wrestler, and she's done some fantastic work this year. I mean, from the start of the year when she was just, I'm not going to say this timid woman because that's really rude and disrespectful, but from what she was to now, like, obviously she can hold her own on the mic, her ring works good, she's got really good fire and stuff, and yeah, and I just think she's been tremendous. So that was probably my match of the night, um, which was ended, let me think, by Oscar getting Lyra to tap out. Actually, I really liked the tap out thing from Oscar. That was really cool. Absolutely loved it. So, do you know what? Shout out to Oscar. Like, her heel work's been brilliant, and Kairi Sane as well. How good is she at the minute? Absolutely top draw work from Kairi. Shout out to her. I think the insane elbow is actually my favourite move at the minute. I think they've all been tremendous. My only thing is, I'm wondering where Rhea Ripley is. I'm assuming she's on holiday. I hope, Rhea, you're having a fantastic time, but there are those of us who absolutely love you, some more than others. And I would like you to come back as quickly as possible, and because you are awesome and we love you, so please come back. Yeah, let me just have a quick look at the comments. Keto Ketchum, hey Keto, how you doing? You all right, mate? Yeah, we spoke before, haven't we, pal? I love your passion for film meta. Oh, for film. Oh, dude, I love films. I absolutely love them. I couldn't do. I'm one of these people. If you sat me down at 8 o'clock in the morning and said, "I want you to watch 5 films on the bounce," my response would be, "Can I watch 6?" Honestly, I absolutely love them, mate. I'm hoping, funnily enough, to see Predator Badlands this week, although I've run into a slight issue with money due to the incompetence of the Department of Work and Pensions, who have decided to rob me and my wife of some money, despite the fact that she owed money and I didn't because of a work thing that has nothing to do with me. Anyway, that's a whole thing that you guys don't need to know about. But yes, I'm not hugely impressed with the DWP at the minute. I could really do without it when I'm trying to do 2 jobs as well. Anyway, long story short, I don't know why I just told you that, Paul. But yeah, I'm hoping to see Predator Badlands if I can scrape together enough money. If so, I'll do. I'm gonna do like a live reaction. Probably about 10, 11 o'clock. If I can't, then I'll just watch it at the end of the month and I'll just do it anyway. But yeah, thanks to the DWP. I said bankers just in case anyone thinks I said anything different. Let's have a look. Depression Talk, Evening Depression Talk. That's a hell of a name. If you are, dude, fellow sufferer, I've just had a load of stuff with that this year. after being diagnosed with stress and anxiety and various weird forms of depression, and also being a bit hyper, as you can see from this live stream. So yeah, we spoke last time about Marvel falling off. Tell me your favorite, my favorite niche film. My favorite niche film. My favorite niche film, Keto, is. Oh God, that's a tough one. I don't know if I call it a niche film, but one that's maybe not heard of as. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I'll give you three. Switchblade Romance, which was this really like weird sort of French thriller. I can't really describe it, but it's kind of a serial killer thing, and yeah, it's it's just very very weird. Other one would be Old Boy, which was an absolutely insane South Korean film. Again, I can't really do it justice. I'll just say it has a fantastic hallway fight, and it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, but awesomely cool. There's another French film called Cachet with Daniel. I can't remember his name. Daniel Arulito, and I think Juliette Binoche was in it as well. That was really really good. Um, I was going to get. Oh, I don't know if it's niche, but I like David Lynch's films. God rest his soul, 'cause obviously he passed this year. I really, really liked a film called Inland Empire. I don't know if it's a niche film, but it's more on like the sort of art house side. So I don't know how many people know of it, but it had Laura Dern in it. Um, Jeremy Irons was in it. Who else was in it? The guy who died in Alien, who had the cat called Jonesy, whose name I can't remember. He was a very famous actor. Yeah, those would be some of my favourites. But yeah, honestly, I will watch any kind of film that you want. It can be subtitled, it can be foreign. It can be a comic book. It can be stuff like it could be a 4 hour film like Malcolm X. It could be like a popcorn movie like Star Wars. I mean, I'm just looking behind me. I've got. In fact, I'll show you. If you guys just bear me a second, I'm just going to unhook my camera. I don't know if you guys can see, but that's our film library. There you go. All the other stuff was my missus and son's Lego, by the way. Don't ask. I live in a really weird house, as you might have guessed. To be honest, we're not the most normal family, to be honest. By the way, that collection shelf is collection shelf one. The other collection shelf is in the other room, and I have the rest of the DVDs upstairs in my geek room, which I do a lot of the recording of my live streams, which you guys will have seen before. That's where all the toys are and stuff. So yeah, what was the question again? Oh yes, so yeah, niche films. So yeah, those are probably some of my favourites. If I had to pick, I'd probably say Old Boy. Like I said, guys, I know this is meant to be a wrestling stream, but if you haven't seen it, see Old Boy, because it's absolute class, absolute class. Let me have a look. Depression Talk, DWP are farce roles. I completely agree. Depression Talk that they are farce roles. I can't. Yeah, I'm not. Do you know what? I will tell the story actually. Basically, excuse me. What's happened is my missus got a job. Yay, well done, wife. About 3 or 4 years ago, and she went part time, but then they increased her hours, kind of thing. And you know when you've got to like kind of declare it and stuff. So she's declared it, but she's put the wrong hours on. It's complete accident, and she's apologised. Anyway, so they said to like her, you know, when they send her a bill to recover money for taxes and so on and so forth. Anyway, they did the same this year, but they've sent a bill to me as well, and I have nothing to do. But I mean, I have something to do with my wife, obviously, but like. In terms of her work, I got my job and she's got hers, and I was like, "Why have I got this for?" So the missus goes on, and she's just like, "Can you stop sending this to my husband?" Blah blah blah. And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, cool." And then just 2 weeks ago, I went to look at my wages, only to discover that I've been shorn of £200 2 months before Christmas. The reason I've got no money is I decided to not look at my wage. So, kids, if you ever get paid, make sure you look at your wage before it comes in. And I thought to myself, right, the wretchedness of Christmas is coming up. I'm going to go and buy all my stuff now because, like most blokes on this stream will agree, I can't stand shopping. Shopping sucks. I don't want anything to do with shopping. I don't like the whole Christmas thing. It annoys the something out of me. I don't want to be involved in massive Christmas crowds. Can't stand it. And I'm one of those blokes. And I know there's a few blokes like me. Get everything now. Throw it in a corner. Get it wrapped up, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of Christmas, and it's all done. So I decided to spend 400 quid, I think it was, on the Christmas presents, couple of birthday presents, wrapped them all up. Hooray, well done. And then found out that DWP have shorted me off 200 quid. Hence why I don't know if I can watch Predator. I don't know why on earth I've just told you that story, but yes, to agree with Depression Talk, yes, and I will just say it, DWP are total and utter arseholes. There we go. I feel better after that. Look me up, bud. I go live every day at 10 a.m. UK. Oh, cool. Nice one, Depression Talk. I mean, I will try. I'm actually in work at that sort of time, but talk about everything depression, anxiety related, and we have a good laugh. Oh, dude, like I said, I'm an open book with it now, because yeah, like I said, I don't mind talking about it all. I mean, basically, I just kept everything to myself for years and years and years after my old fella died, and then basically, long story short, something happened this year where I'd just taken life, and all of a sudden something up here went, and I just basically said, do you know what? And stormed out of my place of work and basically went off on one. Funnily enough, since that, I've then started doing these live streams, and like, it's funny how life works really, because I was sort of like really, really completely lost, even though I've got a loving family. I've got a lovely little lad upstairs who's like my absolute earth. And my YouTube channel, I concentrated on it, but it wasn't like, you know what I mean? I wasn't obsessed with it. I would just do it every now and again. And because I had a lot of time off work, I kind of thought to myself, do you know what? I've got a bit of time to do this now. I might give it a bit more of a go. And I think I had 600 subscribers at the beginning of this year or something along those lines after 3 years. So it wasn't like a major thing. And in the space of 6 months, because I'm now doing live streams, because I actually found out that I could do, like, this is how rubbish I am with technology. I found out that I could do live streams on my feed, and I was going up to my son going, son, look, I can do live streams. And because he's technically advanced and everything, he's like a 12-year-old that grew up with this. He's like, yeah, Dad, of course you can do live streams. You just press this on your phone. I was like, oh, right, cool. Anyway, cut to a long story short, I've gone from the start of this year to having 600 subscribers after three years and 2 months to having 1.3 or 1,300 plus in 5 months, I think it is. So yeah, maybe it's a thing. I don't know. I just know it's really, really helped me talk about like this, that, and the other. So guys, I know this is meant to be a wrestling pod, and I'll get back onto this in a second, I promise. But while I'm here, if you ever feel really low, I mean, I never got low to the point where it was going to be bad. I can't stress this enough. Go and speak to someone. Speak to your parents. Speak to your missus. Speak to your girlfriend. Speak to your boyfriend. Whatever sex you are, go and speak to a few of your mates. Lads, if you are a lad, don't think that you can't speak to one of the lads about it. You know what I mean? Like, that is what your mates are there for. Like, the amount of my mates over the summer who I just said, well, I didn't want to speak to you because you've got a wife and kids and stuff, and they were just like, you daft bugger, basically, come and speak to me. And there were lots of like, you know, we do like man, I was like, come here, bro, and this, that, and the other. Yeah, no, I can't stress it enough. Speak to someone and don't suffer in silence. I know it sounds really cliche, but this sort of thing can be deadly if not treated, and you can get medication and you can get help, and there are groups and there are people out there for you. So yeah, I don't want to sound too preachy or anything, but just go and look after yourselves, because your life is more important than work, it's more important than money, and it's more important than this stupid nonsense that we've got on in the world at the minute. Anyway, that's my little rant over. Let's have a look. Yes, Old Boy and Real Cinema. Oh, nice one, Keta. You've seen it as well. I like films that are bad on purpose, like Peter Jackson, Bad Taste. Yeah, I watched that. Unfortunately, I watched Bad Taste, mate, many years ago, and I decided to order a pizza, which is a huge regret. Of course, Korean films I love. Oh, dude, The Raid is absolute top drawer. Absolute top drawer. Let me come back to the comments in a second. I'm just going to finish this and then I'll talk to you guys in the comments. Just very quickly, the last two matches. So you had Dragon Lee and AJ Styles versus the Judgment Day. Not as good as the first outing, I'll be completely honest, but still a decent match. Dominic Mysterio tried to interfere, and all of a sudden Sheamus came out because obviously Sheamus got like shillelied, whatever you want to call it, last week, and obviously Tom was involved in that. Basically, Dominic Mysterio gets battered by Sheamus, and AJ and Dragon Lee go over the Judgment Day, so they've kept the titles. Oh, just very, very quickly, by the way, one thing I did forget to mention before when I was talking about the Mysterios. So Dom Mysterio and Rey Mysterio obviously had their little promo exchange. Could someone please explain this Dom Mysterio thing to me? Look, like I said, I think he's a fantastic worker as a heel, and I'll try and explain what I mean. I think he's a fantastic worker, and I think this kid is going to be absolutely brilliant. Look, he's going to be one of the men going forward. I could fully see face Bron Breakker versus heel Dom Mysterio if they go the Shawn Michaels route with him. So maybe your Bron Breakker's like your Austin, and your Dominic Mysterio is going to be like your Shawn Michaels kind of thing. I don't know, something along those lines. So I get why people like Dom because of his work. I don't get why people of like 20 years younger than me, because I'm like 45, so maybe I don't understand. I don't understand why they like his personality, if that makes any sense, because he's just like a little weasel with a really bad moustache who just comes out with like nonsense. And like, I get his promo style because it's kind of like the language of today that the kids use. Maybe that's it, I don't know, but he just comes across as a little weasel, and I don't get why. I get why people like the performer. I don't get why they like how he is as a human being. I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. Just to end with, I'm probably going to do a vlog on this as well. So they announced a last time is now tournament. So yes, John Cena now has his own tournament, which I suspect they will probably have as an annual tournament from now on. So maybe Cena will pop in every now and again and hand the belt over to whoever wins and all this sort of stuff. So we've had two matches announced: Rusev versus Damian Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus, and apparently Nick Aldis is going to announce the next two matches this week on SmackDown coming up, and then the other matches get announced when Cena comes back next week, because Cena's back next week for Boston, Monday Night Raw. I get they're trying to build anticipation, but I wish they'd just announced all 8 matches. I don't really need to be, because I mean SmackDown's likely to be what, Miz versus Mello and Ray Phoenix versus Solo Sikoa, maybe. I don't know. I mean, in terms of the big reveal, I mean, because obviously Cena said some people who didn't work here anymore. Maybe there's going to be something that cracks off in Boston. Now, if you guys, shameless plug, if you guys haven't seen my video, I've done a vlog on who the tournament could actually feature. So I've already got 3 of the names wrong for a start stuff, but yeah, I actually did a whole vlog about how, who could win it and stuff. I still think I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Hendry's in it, because he says people that doesn't work here. That doesn't necessarily mean he could mean work on Monday Night Raw. Maybe it's not NXT. I know he did say NXT, but Joe Hendry's technically still TNA kind of thing, so maybe that's more what he means. I was kind of thinking maybe Nick Nemeth, because obviously TNA and WWE have a relationship, and obviously Dolph Ziggler used to be, well, Nick Nemeth used to be Dolph Ziggler. I'd love it to be someone like a Chris Jericho or an Adam Copeland, but I cannot see AEW allowing that in a month for Sundays, because I mean, why would they, to be honest? So I don't know who it's going to be, but yeah, I'm probably going to do another vlog about the tournament when all the names come out. But it's just like, just announce them, and then yeah, basically just to finish off, CM Punk, Jey Uso versus the Bronze. Again, the match was what it was. It was okay, not too bad at all. Ends up in a, I think it ends up in an DQ actually. I think so. And then basically the Bronze went to town on Jey Uso. They're about to hit CM Punk with 2 metal folding chairs. Logan Paul comes running out, and he sort of positions himself next to Punk, and he's got his brass knucks on. He's like, yeah, come on, Bronze, this, that, and the other. I mean, you could tell you could tell a mile off what was going to happen, to be honest. He basically turns around and says, and knocks Punk out, basically. Then they have this sort of weird ceremonial thing, if that's even a thing. I'm just going to move my appalling writing over here. By the way, that's the notes that I take, by the way. Yeah, really. Yeah, it was really weird. It was like so Paul Heyman basically holds back the two Bronze who are like eyeing up Logan Paul, and then all of a sudden Logan Paul takes his what do you call it? His not his Infinity Gauntlet. Jesus Christ, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? His brass Infinity Gauntlet. Well, takes his brass knucks off and gives them to Heyman, and Heyman starts smiling, but it kind of reminded me the way Heyman switched when he raised the bronze hands after they attacked Seth Rollins. So now it's a case of, I mean, we don't know if it's going to get people talking. Is the alliance between Logan Paul, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed and Heyman a temporary thing? Is it a forever thing? Is Logan Paul part of the vision? Is he the lead of the vision? If so, if it's the latter, I do have questions about that, because it's like Bron Breakker's made it abundantly clear he wants to be the man. He's being positioned as the man. Now, Logan Paul would obviously in this scenario get the title match. My question is, why would Bron Breakker go, do you know what, I really wanted to win the title, but dude, you're our leader now, so you crack on and try and win it. That doesn't make any semblance of sense to me personally, in terms of Bron's character. But like I said in my vlog, if Logan is part of the vision, it kind of makes sense now, because obviously he had an ongoing feud with Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth is now going to come back as a monster babyface. He's going to have to, even if he wanted to come back as heel now, he's going to have to come back as a baby, at least initially, because the crowd's going to go nuts. I mean, maybe he ends up actually saving CM Punk at WrestleMania now. Perhaps it ends up being Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed and Punk in a triple threat match. Maybe Seth Rollins gets, but I mean, we don't know. Obviously, WrestleMania is like 6 months away, so who knows? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, basically, that was the Monday Night Raw portion of the my weird live streams that take in the films and horror and Liverpool Football Club and whatever else, which I'll get onto in a minute. But yeah, no, in terms of Raw, just to give it a grade, probably say 6.5, 7 out of 10. I thought it was decent. I just didn't think it was good as the last few ones that have been really, really good. And match of the night would probably be Lyra and Bailey versus the Kabuki Warriors. For me, I thought it was really, really good. Again, just because I like Lyra Valkyria so much. Yeah, that's probably match of the night. Yeah, it was a good show, but not the most amazing one. And basically, that's what happened on Monday Night Raw. There you go, folks. I don't know if I mentioned, by the way, Liverpool beat Real Madrid 1-0 last night, just in case I've not mentioned it before. I can't remember. Sorry, I will stop in a minute. I do apologise. Right, okay. Let me just have a look. Mile High. Hello, Mile High. We want a Shield reunion. Yes. Well, Mile High. I'm sure we would all like that, but one person who would not like that is Tony Khan. So unless Mox is released from his Inks last year 5-year contract, that is probably, I would say, very unlikely. Maybe it does happen. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, Roman is 41, I want to say. I think Mox, I'm right in saying, is 38, 39. Rollins is about 37. So it's not like they're older or anything. I mean, but obviously the window of opportunity is going to be closing in the next 10 years, 12 years maybe. I mean, who knows if Roman's back. I mean, I fully expect Roman to be the next one to go to Hollywood. We'll have to wait and see about that, but will they have enough time to put Shield Union back? I mean, I suppose they could. I mean, maybe Mox has only got another couple of years in AEW, who knows, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you never know. Depression Talk, liked and subbed. Oh, thank you very much, Depression Talk. You're a star. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me about my experience as well. Really appreciate it, dude. I've been to 14 WrestleMania events in my life. Whoa! Mile High, you're lucky. Crikey. I haven't been to a single one. the closest I've come to WrestleMania is watching WWE in Leeds at the first Direct about 2 months ago. Now, in terms of WWE, I've been to, let me think, I went to Sheffield in 1993, where my old fellow, God rest his soul, got scared by The Undertaker. That's a true story, by the way. Um, I've been to Manchester in 2005. I've been to 2 shows in London. I've been to a Monday Night Raw taping, a SmackDown taping, one in Sheffield, I think possibly one in Nottingham. Yes, definitely one in Nottingham. It was just after Punk won the title in the summer of Punk, and obviously WWE Leeds, and I've just went to Sheffield last year as well. So I'm probably about 8 or 9 house shows. I would have thought maybe a couple of Raws, but yes, I have not been to WrestleMania. I would love to go to WrestleMania. And without wishing to get too political, when Triple H made his announcement, I stupidly thought for some reason they're finally doing it. It's finally going to be in London. Hooray! I can see WrestleMania. And then, yes, that turned out not to be the case. Moving swiftly on. Let me have a look. Depression Talk, good effort. Cheers, man. Mile High, fire Triple H and bring back Vince. That's going to be a bit difficult, I would have thought, given his woes, shall we say. Agree 100%. I'm actually building a community for actually that. Oh, nice one, Depression Talk. Right, I'll tell you what, mate, actually. I'll write down your thing, dude, because I'd be very interested in that. Depression Talk. Right, I'm not just doing it for thing, by the way. That is my handwriting. Depression Talk. That's your name. Just there. I will subscribe to you yourself, dude, as well. Like I said, I've definitely wrote your name down, but that's my handwriting. Honestly, my handwriting is horrendous. But yes, give me about an hour because I've got some bits and pieces to do after the live stream, and then I will go on your channel and I will subscribe. And but yeah, just a 5-minute phone call to a friend can change your whole outlook. Yeah, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Yeah, it's just super important, isn't it? It's just one of these like, that's all it takes. Just reach out to people. Like I was really scared about telling a few of my mates, some of whom I've known for 20, 25 years. And looking back now, I'm just like, I don't know why I was like, there was a bit of, I don't know, maybe shame and stuff like that. I don't know. A lot of it's just being an idiot bloke, basically, because I know all blokes think they're like, this, that, and the other. But I mean, a lot of us with this sort of thing are just daft buggers, basically. I mean, to be fair to my missus and a lot of women, they're a lot more clued up about this sort of thing than we are, and a lot of us are just basically morons who just try to carry on and then need to put themselves in hospital. So yes, no, I completely agree. You need to reach out and you need to talk about these things because these things are real, and the people that say woke or it's just people wanting time off or it's just like people like that, just do not listen to them, because I don't swear much on my live stream, but like people like that are just fawning arseholes and you just ignore them because they're not worth the time of day as far as I'm concerned. Let me have a look. Sorry, my fault, Mile High. Much love from Denver still. I didn't know you were talking to me. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, dude. I was going on a bit of a rant. I'm just going through the comments now, dude. I am an ex-Annie Road ender. Ah, hello, Graham. How you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah, I am going to mention Liverpool just before I go, dude, because like I said, my live streams, this is meant to be wrestling, but like, because I've got like playlists for pro wrestling, horror, pride, Comic Cons, toy hunts. I do podcasts on film, Liverpool. I do loads of football stadium tours as well because I'm a boring old man. I love visiting old football grounds from back in the day. They are live streams for wrestling and Liverpool, but they kind of go all over the place. But yeah, I quite like it like that, to be honest, because there's loads of Liverpool fan channels, there's loads of wrestling fan channels. And I did think to myself a year ago, maybe I'm spreading myself a bit too thin, but then I thought to myself, well, there's not really a lot of people doing. I'm sure there are people that do the same sort of stuff as me, but there's not really people who've got who have one channel where they've got loads of interests. And I was just like, well, why not? I mean, I actually added a new channel recently just to big up my country. There you go, the mighty Ghana. And I don't know. I'd done some match vlogs because Ghana's like my team basically. Because when the old fella passed, I never got to see Ghana with him. Um, and it's like supporting Ghana is one of my only links back to my old fella. And I'd done a couple of vlogs about Ghana matches that I'd seen because I went to go and see Ghana versus Nigeria this summer. And I suddenly thought to myself, like, I've actually got 7 or 8 Ghanaian things. Why am I not doing a Ghana channel for? So I just added that as well. So, like I said, it's just one of these. I probably should specialise in something. I mean, maybe one day I might have. I don't know, have Redmen have got like channel 1 and channel 2, or I don't know, like Unspeakable's got 2 channels, or I'm not comparing myself to Unspeakable and people like Morali, obviously, because they are like awesome world class YouTubers, and I'm some bloke who's got a camera in front of me in my living room. But yeah, maybe I might specialise a little bit more with different channels one day. But for the moment, I just like talking about different stuff. So yeah, but it's nice to speak to an ex-Annie Road, and welcome, Greg. Yeah, same to you, Depression as well. Oh, you nearly got me, Mike. You nearly got me. What's on the agenda? Well, we just talked about Monday Night Raw, Mike, and Logan Paul returning. I will just shout at my son, by the way. I don't know if any of you are Logan Paul fans from either his videos or wrestling, so I apologise for this now, if this offends you. My son cannot stand Logan Paul. My son has never sworn in his life other than Logan Paul, which we had to have a bit of word with him about. Well, I say swear, but like it's not really swearing because like Logan, Logan came out about 3 or 4 months ago. My son he was outraged that he was on his TV set basically, and he said, "Mom, Dad, I don't like Logan Paul. He's a big arsehole." And me and his mum were like, "Where did you hear that word for?" And it was like, "I've heard you and Mum say it." Oh, for God's sake. So yes, I do apologise, but my son cannot stand Logan Paul. So yes, I'm not really allowed to play Logan Paul on Raw. We usually have to fast forward it and I have to watch it later, basically. So I apologise if any of you are Logan Paul fans, but yes, he's not popular in our house, to say the least. Mile High WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, who does that? Yeah, Mile High. Look, I'm not going to get into the thing about Saudi Arabia. Look, everyone has their opinion. Everyone's opinion is valid. It's entirely up to you what position you take. My thing isn't that. My thing is it. Maybe there's a bit of English arrogance. Like I said, I am Ghanaian, but obviously I've got English to me as well. Well, I mean, obviously I am English basically, but maybe it's a bit of English that's British arrogance. But I think if you look over the last 30 years of WWE, and if you're going on deserving to get a foreign Raw, I mean, I'm sorry, it's a pretty open and shut case to me, to be honest. I mean, obviously, because Canada's next to the States, they've got a case. But Canada have had what? Canada's had 3 WrestleManias, 4 WrestleManias. They had Hogan Rock. Was it Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior? Was that into? They had 2 in Toronto. Was the other one when Jericho lost to Triple H? I can't remember, but I know they've had 3 or 4 WrestleMania. Maybe France and Germany have got a bit of a case as well. Possibly Japan, but obviously they've got New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah and all that. But I mean, if you look at deserving, I mean, yeah, again, maybe it's a bit of Britishness to me, I don't know. But I mean, I'm sorry, but the most deserving country to have WrestleMania outside of America is England and the British Isles, just in terms of how much support you get over here, how many people travel from the UK for these shows, how much it's watched. I think I'm right in saying we watch the most WWE in the world if you look at television statistics. I read that the other day. I'm fairly sure that's correct. I could be wrong. But in terms of deserving, like I say, it's not me being English because I'm like British Ghanaian. I mean, if you're talking deserving, it's got to be England, surely. It's got to be Wembley Stadium. I mean, obviously, I would like it to be Anfield. That would be the dream. WrestleMania at Anfield would be just hysterically brilliant, and I would definitely go. But obviously, it does have to be at London to carry all them people. And I just think to myself, well, I know obviously Saudi Arabia are going to be paying WWE an absolutely outrageous money. However, if you had a week in England, you've got the two WrestleMania shows. You've got the SmackDown the night before WrestleMania Night 1. You've got Monday Night Raw after both WrestleManias. You could have NXT maybe from England on the Tuesday before WrestleMania. You could have WrestleMania week in London of all places. I mean, that is an absolute fortune. I mean, I know Saudi Arabia can offer you a lot of money, but I mean, the amount of people that would pay to watch events, you could have WWE stars getting involved in stuff like I don't know, UK promotions, like I don't know, Pro Rev Wrestling, Rev Pro, sorry, Progress Wrestling. Maybe I don't know if they do deals with that sort of thing. The amount of appearances that they would go on. You could move WWE World over here. You could have it. I don't know. You could put it at the exhibition centre in the London, what is it, the London Exhibition Centre, is it MGM or MGX or something, I forget where it is, but I mean, that building is enormous, and there are loads of millions of enormous buildings in London, and Saudi Arabia, with the greatest respect, taking aside all the political stuff, Saudi Arabia is probably the size of Yorkshire. In fact, I don't even think it's that big. In fact, it's probably nowhere near that big, to be honest. And it's like, just from a practical point of view, I mean, how many people are going to travel to Saudi Arabia? I mean, obviously you've got the whole of the Middle East. So there's going to, don't get me wrong, there will be a boatload of people who goes. I still think there'll be a lot of Americans who are completists who will want to go. There'll be a lot of people from my country who will want to go, and I just don't think it's very fair that a country that's had like maybe the last 7 or 8 years fanatical support about WWE gets it over a country basically where you've had support for nearly 40 odd years. That's my only thing. I just think it's completely unfair, but it is what it is basically. I hope we get it in England one day because I would definitely like to go, but you know, for now I would just have to watch AEW at Wembley Stadium, which is absolutely fine because I also love AEW as well. But yeah, that's my opinion. It's him said hi. I want Dominic to be John Cena's last opponent. Not for me, mate. No, I know where you're coming from, dude, because obviously you want to pass the torch on to the next person. I mean, I get your point, dude. If Dominic Mysterio went over against John Cena, I mean, he's basically a made man. I mean, he would be basically the face of Monday Night Raw. And it's obvious to me that going forward, your next stars are going to be Dominic Mysterio and Bron Breakker. Hopefully Bronson Reed, definitely Joe Hendry. I wouldn't be surprised if it's those four. Obviously, you've got Jacob Fatu, who's still really young as well. You've got a lot Penta, so you have got your next generation coming after your CM Punks and Styles and Cena and so on and so forth. Logic-wise, I do get why it could be Dominic Mysterio, but I don't know, to be honest, Mile. Whoever it is now is going to be a disappointment for someone. There isn't anyone that they can announce where. So if they went right to the top of the food chain and said it's going to be John Cena versus The Rock, hooray! There'll be people saying, "Why is it The Rock for? Blah 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 blah. He's already wrestled 3 times." And then you go, "All right, what about Roman Reigns? Oh, that's already been done, and Roman's a part timer." No. Okay, then what about Joe Hendry? Oh, Joe Hendry doesn't deserve it. He's not even in WWE. Okay, what about Penta? He's not well known enough. Blah 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 blah. Okay, what about returning Chris Jericho, who is no longer under contract? Jericho's not worked in WWE for you know what I mean. It's just got to the stage where I don't think there's a single per. I mean, if it's Gunther, I would also get that as well. I just don't. And if it's Brock Lesnar, I just think everyone will kick off because people will just be like, well, "What is that all about?" There's no need for that at all. There was that line from CM Punk that has just reminded me. It's just dropped my memory during his promo when he basically did say, "John, I would like to face you one last time." Now I can't see Punk entering that tournament. I mean, I suppose maybe he could, and then Logan and the Vision could cost him, and that furthers the feud. Maybe he could enter it. I mean, Punk and Cena, actually think about it. I mean, Punk is seen as, I know him and Randy came up together, but Punk and Cena is John's feud. I mean, it is. It's his most dramatic feud by a mile. Um, Punk putting Cena over, I think pretty much everyone would be happy with that. But then at this stage, it's like, well, Punk's the champion. Why on earth would he defend against Cena? Unless I did think to myself as well, because you can drive yourself around the bend with this sort of thing. I did think maybe there's a possibility that Cena's whole heel turn back to a baby face is maybe a swerve. And I have always had in the back of my mind, maybe he's going to do something at the end and get a title back and basically ruin wrestling for everyone and basically run off. Yeah, I don't know. It could be anything, dude. Could be anything. Depression talk. I'll probably miss depression talks. Nice to meet you, buddy. Got to run bedtime. No problem, mate. Lovely to speak to you, and I will look at your channel. Don't worry. I really think building is a hobby. It's him. Oh, I'm him. I'm him. Hi, I'm him. You're right. I hope WWE has big plans for this WrestleMania. I hope so, dude. I hope so. Yes, bro, it's been kind of boring. Yeah, no, I agree. It was a bit not. Yeah, I don't know. Realistically, I want Cena versus The Rock last match. Yeah, like I said, I still think that's a possibility. And if The Rock's involved in the last match, it would tie together the whole segment quite nice. I think The Rock will be there. I definitely think The Rock's going to be there in some capacity, and he will have some He's got to have some interaction with Cena. And I mean, I'm guessing Cena will be at Raw the next night. I mean, they've said final appearance, but I mean, technically he could have an encore of Raw. I don't know. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Not gonna lie, all the overtakes versus the overtakes. The overtakes. I see what you did there. Scenes on The Rock. Let's have a look. That would be a great match. What's more legendary, CM Punk return or CM winning 17 times? To be honest, man, I'm gonna get shouted at the end from this, but I'm a massive CM Punk fan, so I go CM Punk every single day of the week. I know not everyone's gonna agree with me on that at all, but like CM Punk is basically not far off my favourite wrestler. Before anyone asks, my favourite wrestler is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and always will be. The greatest performer of all time is Shawn Michaels, basically. So, best current wrestler, Punk. Best of all time for me, Stone Cold Steve Austin. But best out and out performer is Shawn Michaels. Very close, Ric Flair. Did I mention we beat Real Madrid 1-0, by the way? I don't know. I keep having this thing that I've not told anyone. Let me have a look. What's more legendary? Cena turning heel at the Rumble last year made no sense. Looking back on it, yeah, I mean, if they were gonna do that, The Rock had to be involved. I mean, this is kind of the thing with The Rock now. Like, obviously, when initially he was going to take the spot against Roman and they had to pivot because of Cody Rhodes, there had to be a load of stuff moved about. And it's kind of happened a second year and about. And it's like, look, I get The Rock cannot be offering 6 months, and that's fine. But I think basically, I mean, I'm sure Triple H and The Rock have had some very blunt discussions, but I think maybe Trip has to just speak to The Rock now and just say, look, Rocky, if you are going to be in a major storyline, so like obviously The Rock is filming that film with Martin Scorsese, I think in a couple of months or whenever it is that he's going to be filming that for 3 or 4 months, and then obviously he's got his films that he's already done. He's probably taken up to well into next year. And they'll be having the Oscar campaign for the Smashing Machine. So, I mean, you're looking at The Rock basically not being. I can't see him being available till next SummerSlam. And I think Hunter's they just need to have a frank discussion and say, look, Rock, basically, look, I know you're chairman of the board and I get it and that's fine. But it's pissing fans off now and that's going to hurt sales and stuff. So, I mean, The Rock's never going to hurt sales, obviously, because he's the most famous guy in the world. However, basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if he's going to work a program, it needs to be for a good couple of months. It doesn't necessarily have to be every single night and every single Raw and SmackDown, but he needs to at least be available for what? If he's going to work a 3 month program, he's got to be available for at least 7 or 8 of them, and so to have it make sense, to be honest, because the whole thing with Cena in the end was just a bit of a letdown, in my opinion, when it could have been so good. But yeah, it's just one of these. CM Punk definitely true, and AJ Lee to a good couple years. Yep. Hello, I'm him. I'm still going to call you I'm him, dude. I'm not raising that up. Who you think is the next big star to return to WWE? I think, Mile, that it's a cross, and this is a pun intended, by the way, between Karrion Kross and Chris Jericho. Obviously, Brock's already returned, and I guess Brock now is going to be your Cena / Rock, in that he's going to be the one that comes back occasionally, the same as Roman. And then maybe in about 3 or 4 years' time, when they've gone, I'm guessing the next one who's going to be popping in and out will be CM Punk. He's now getting his actors' roles as well. He's got his that horror film coming out as well. I did hear some random rumor that they were on about CM Punk being in, not. It was one of those Reddit rumors, so it could be completely. It probably is completely false. There was some mention of him being in Scream or something like that, which I immediately thought to myself, CM Punk in Scream is golden. Because I'm a massive horror movie fan. That would be brilliant. I would love to see Ghostface Phil Brooks. That would be fantastic. But I can't see that being the case. But you never know. You never know. So yes. I would have thought Karrion Kross or Chris Jericho. I mean, in terms of debuts at the Rumble, I think I would be astonished if DMD is not at the Rumble next year. Absolutely astonished. I think she'll be one of the entrants for the Royal Rumble, because I genuinely don't think she's under contract with AEW anymore, because she's hardly being used. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I definitely think there's a case for Danielson coming back at some stage, but obviously he's on comms for AEW at the moment, and he's like one of their trainers / writers. So I think he's quite happy where he is at the minute. Joe Hendry, with them losing Cena, AJ Styles, Punk getting older, Roman being part-time, Brock not even being part-time, they're going to lose a lot of star power. I think Joe Hendry, I mean, he's got to be on the main roster this time next year, surely, because I mean, he's like one of their biggest merch movers. Not for WWE, obviously, but for TNA. So, I mean, I would have thought he'll be working for Raw. I'd be very surprised if this time next year that we're not talking about Joe Hendry, but I could be wrong. Let's have a look. Yeah, hi, yeah. Arsenal, yeah, good old Arsenal. Love them. They won again tonight. No, was that yesterday? I can't remember. Do you know what? I haven't even looked at single football match results. I know Chelsea drew. I don't know if City won. I've got absolutely no idea. In fact, I've just realised I'm missing the Champions League, aren't I? Yes, I was meant to have that on at the same time I was talking to you guys. Honestly, CM Punk, what you said, it would be legendary. I nearly got him. Not a chance, mate. Not a chance. You think AJ Styles gets a farewell tour next year? I would love an AJ Styles farewell tour, dude. I would be more than happy to see AJ Styles. I hope AJ's going to come to England, because I saw him so many times for TNA. So I watched TNA in Manchester between 2009 and 14, I think. Saw AJ Styles at least 3 or 4 times. Honestly, he's one of the best performances in real life. It's different when you watch on TV. Obviously, when you watch in a stadium or like an arena, you can see who the really good wrestlers are, and AJ Styles is just phenomenal. Gotta say. So I hope so. Yeah, no, I'd be well up for that, dude. Well up for it. I mean, I definitely think AJ deserves something. Whether he'll do a tour, my initial reaction would be probably no, because they might look at the Cena thing and say, look, is it going to have the same sort of impact? I mean, obviously, with the greatest respect to Styles, he's not as big a name as John Cena, but he to me is one of, I'd go as far to say AJ Styles is one of the top 20 professional wrestlers of all time for me, and that's a big call, because obviously that is a hell of a list of talent that you've got. But I think For me personally, AJ Styles is one of the best pro wrestlers of all time. I'm not sure if he'd go in my top 5, but he's definitely in a top 20, which is the highest compliment I could pay him. It's I'm him though. Yes, I know I'm him. Yes. Why have you changed your name, by the way? You think AJ Styles gets a fit? Oh yeah, I've just read that. CM Punk referred to WWE 2 years ago. Oh, dude, literally, I had a bit of a fiasco with that, Mile, because I do very daft and stupid things, sadly, even at the age of 45. And when the Survivor Series ended, I actually turned it off. You know when they were panning away from the steel cage after Seth's team had won with Cody, I actually turned it off because I thought, that'll be the end of it, blah blah blah. And it was only because something random told me, I was like, do you know what? Maybe there was an attack after the match. I'll put it back on. Just on the off chance there probably won't be anything. Some Punk's music hits, and I was just like, "You absolute idiot! What are you doing?" But yeah, no, I was literally like, "Oh my god, it's CM Punk." I mean, obviously, I'm an AEW fan as well, so I've kind of had the experience twice. Funnily enough, I saw Punk at. I was there during that instant at Wembley Stadium, so the block that I was in. I mean, I was like way up at Wembley Stadium because I only paid like, I put it this way, for my AW ticket I paid 25 quid, so you can imagine how high in the stadium I was. I mean, I was nearly falling out of the roof of Wembley basically, but the block I was kind of in, if you go downwards, I was literally, you're talking like a couple of 100 feet, 300 or 400 feet away from where CM Punk and Jack Perry had their slight disagreement, shall we say, and I had no idea that was actually going on. But yeah, the last time I saw Punk before WWE Leeds was him versus Samoa Joe at Wembley Stadium, and honestly, I know this is a WWE, meant to be a WWE stream, but honestly, the match was so good. I mean, Samoa Joe, he's another one, absolutely outstanding wrestler, and Punk is just, yeah, he's one. CM Punk's definitely in my top 5 of all time without fail. Yeah, lol. I heard he was, but I don't believe it's last year. I don't even. Oh, are you talking about the Scream thing? With Punk, or was that something else? Sorry, I've lost the plot here. I was just joking with the Dominic Mysterio lol. Hey, Mr. Red, how you doing? How you doing, mate? Did I mention that we beat Real Madrid 1-0 last night, by the way? Honestly, I can't remember if I've said it or not. I'm sorry, folks. I know it's really childish, but I will keep saying it honestly. I enjoyed it, Mystical. I decided because I actually found out on my shifts that I had a day off after the Real Madrid match, so I decided to celebrate about 2 hours after I did my live stream for it, and yes, it was possibly not the best idea I've ever had in the world, but honestly, I was so pleased. I mean, up the mighty Reds. I was so pleased we actually did Madrid. Yeah, that was great. Let's have a look. People say Cena will go to AEW and fight Chris Jericho. I mean, it would break the internet if that happened. I mean, I don't even know how that would work. How that would work in practice. I mean, obviously, most of us, the hardcore wrestling fans, have done an AEW versus WWE program in our heads. So I had, if I had 5 matches, I had Toni Storm versus Becky Lynch, Mercedes Moné against Rhea Ripley, Will Ospreay versus who is it? I was going to say now. Will Ospreay versus CM Punk, Okada versus Roman Reigns, and I think the other one was John Cena versus Swerve Strickland, something along them lines. I don't know, and maybe Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles, for example, back in the day. So we've all done like our dream thing, but I mean, obviously there was that weird rumor because obviously AEW's being sponsored at the moment by DC, and like I think there was an image of Peacemaker at an AEW event that I think someone took a photo of it. I can't remember, but I don't know if anyone watches AEW other than me. But at the barricades at the last AEW, they had all the character bios of like a load of DC people. So obviously Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, Batwoman, and so on and so forth. But I don't think Peacemaker was there. But yeah, I mean that would, I mean it would be bedlam, absolute chaos if that happened, utter and complete chaos. I mean, but the trouble is, if AEW ends up working with WWE, then they're just going to be looked at with like little brother syndrome. And I get that they like financially are, but like obviously, I just want AEW to keep being its own thing. 'Cause I mean, TNA tried this many years ago back in the day when they brought in Hogan and Bischoff, and it was just an absolute shambles basically. And TNA very nearly went out of business when they tried to compete. So I just want AEW to keep doing its own thing and go from there, basically. I think so, yeah. Who knows? Anything is possible. Yeah, true, true, true. The Rock needs more WWE time. Absolutely. I think he's fine. He is right now. He's only famous on social media. The Rock is probably doing movies. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. He, like I said, The Rock's next movie. I don't know what it's called, but there's a book that The Rock optioned with Seven Books, which is his company, and it's something to do with the Hawaiian mafia. Um, Emily Blunt's in it. I think Leo DiCaprio's already signed on to it. Possibly John Bernthal. I don't know about John Bernthal, but I swear blind heard a rumour that he was in it. And I know he's got another one. Obviously, he'll be doing his tour for the Smashing Machine as well. So this is what I mean. Like, you've got to think Scorsese production, because Martin Scorsese does not film things in a week. Like, it's going to be at least 4 months. You are talking The Rock is going to be busy until at least this time next year. Like I said, this is the only problem with including The Rock. I just don't think it's a great idea for him to be involved in programs. I just think it was a good plan of doing it, but I just think now that The Rock's got it out of the system, just go back to his normal appearances. Everyone pops, everyone has a laugh. He does the rock bottom on someone, does the people's elbow. We all go happy. I mean, the last one they've still got, to be fair, who they could still bring back, who is still physically fit after a couple of operations, not in his prime, and you can probably know where I'm going with this. Still drinks beer. Still says, "Oh hell yeah." Still a rattlesnake. Is the man Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now I know he had the wrestling match against Owens, which was actually really good, by the way. Considering Austin hadn't even been a ring for 20 odd years, I thought it was a really, really good effort. I mean, I'm not saying bring Austin back as a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, but I still think there's a program for Austin to work, not as a particularly as a wrestler. I mean, obviously he can get in the ring, but you could definitely do something with Stone Cold. I mean, his schedule's not going to be as bad as the. I mean, I know Austin's still super busy because he's doing his what is it? Not the quad bike race. He does the. I'm not a car guy. I can't drive, but he does the not NASCAR. It's another American one. Dirt car race. And I don't know what it is, but he's actually competed in that. I was on about bringing the Stone Cold podcast back the other day, which would be awesome if he would do that. I know he's still doing his reality TV, so he's probably happy enough doing what he's doing. But like, you've got to think at some point in the next 5 years, WWE are going to put out a massive offer to Austin, because he's one of the few stars from my era who's still not come back. Really, as in like for a long, long time. If you see what I mean, he's done his appearances here and there, but maybe Austin's one of the last ones. Who knows? Brock Lesnar is a beast. Yep. Okay. And the other 4 people do. Obviously, UK. Clicked on the video. Oh, wait, 6 now. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. I'm not the most watched. But a lot of people watch and listen to it after the live, so that's fine. Whatever. I'm not a person counter. Doesn't bother me. No, Bradley Mike. Nobody. Cena is not that old. You are old. Yep, I am. Greatest WWE star for all times. The Undertaker. Where would Taker be? Top 10. I think top 10. I mean, it depends what you're on about, Miles, to be honest, because I mean, if it's if you're talking pure wrestling, as in catch as catch can wrestling, then no. If you're talking absolute star who's had one of the best careers of all time, then yeah, he's definitely on that. I mean, in terms of a career like that, I mean, basically you've got Hulk Hogan, obviously you've got Flair, Bret Hart, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Austin. Although Austin's prime career didn't last as long as those other people, could you include The Rock? But then again, The Rock, he was again like Austin as well. They were both like burning stars. Like they literally had like awesome 5 or 6 year runs, and then they were both gone, essentially. So in terms of longevity, if it's longevity, I mean, probably if it's longevity, Undertaker probably is, for longevity's sake, probably the greatest wrestler of all time, because his career was what, 35 years, pretty much non-stop. Even with the injuries, he kept coming back and back and back. So yeah, well, lots of respect for the Undertaker. Not necessarily for his comments last year. Anyway, moving swiftly on. That WrestleMania streak is nothing we'll never experience again. You would take a fan, lol, admitted. No, definitely don't. I've seen Taker at least 4 or 5 times. Like I said, he actually scares my father, which when I was 12, I got a kick out because my dad basically took me along and he had no clue about WWE. And because he was Ghanaian, he was just like, "Oh, I'm just going to take my boy to see this silly wrestling. What can possibly go wrong?" That was my really bad Ghanaian accent, by the way. I don't know why it sounded Welsh. And he takes me along, and we saw like Bret Hart. I think Kurt Hennig was there. I think Shawn was there. This is like 30 odd years ago, so it's a long, long time ago. And then Yoko, God rest his soul, Yokozuna came out, and my dad sat there going, "Who the hell is this?" It's like, well, I mean, there's no one that's going to beat him, obviously. And all of a sudden, it goes dark, and you just hear dum dum, and my dad's eyes just went. I do if any of you've seen Avengers Endgame, you know that bit where Rocket Raccoon's driving the ship, and they go through that wormhole, and Captain America's eyes goes like that. That was my dad. He was literally gripping onto the seat like this, and I was like, "You all right, Dad?" He was just like, "I'm fine, thank you, son." He was actually legit scared of the Undertaker. Anyway, I don't know what I'm telling you that for, but yeah. WWE worst mistake is letting Brock Lesnar beat the streak. Absolutely, it is just a absolutely ridiculous and appalling decision. He should have retired with the streak, simple as that. And just to compound it, like obviously they had him go over Bray, but then the year after, Roman beat him because he had to do what Brock did. And it's like, well, it's not really what Brock did, is it? Because he's already beat. He was the first one. It just cheapens it. It's just really stupid. I like the cinematic match with AJ. That should have been it, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if Taker had wanted to come back after the AJ cinematic match, they could have had, I don't know. I'm trying to think who could put him over. I'm trying to think of the time wise now, because Punk wasn't back at that point. I don't know who it would have been, to be honest, because when the COVID one was obviously 2020, so 2021 they were back in the arenas. I don't know, Drew McIntyre maybe. I don't know who it could have been, but it's a shame that Taker's record ended like that. But yeah, the Brock Lesnar going over the Undertaker was one of the stupidest decisions that WWE has ever made, in my humble opinion. I know there were some people that agreed with it, but the streak should have remained, as far as I'm concerned. I actually thought they were making a big deal, funnily enough, of Bianca Belair being unbeaten at WrestleMania, and then it's like, nope, she's lost now as well. So I think there's I don't know who said it, but I think the longest streak now is, what is it, 3 matches or something like that. Whether they do it with someone else, I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I don't. It shouldn't have ended in that manner anyway. Mystical Red, yeah, I'm buzzing. As soon as the game finished, I commented on your video. Yeah, I know, I saw Mystical Red. Yeah, no, I actually, I know you can't see obviously, but I'm in my living room. I actually had to go across the road because, like, I was like super hyper and everything and jumping about. And the missus comes down and says, "If you do one of them bloody YouTube videos, make sure you go over that road." Yeah, so I actually got sent out of my own house to do the reaction video, basically, as you do. But yeah, no, mate, honestly, it was so good. Like I said, I've just done a Substack, which I'm going to post on here in, well, when I finish this, basically, so about half an hour, where I've just written about the match. And dude, basically, looking back at it, we absolutely annihilated Real Madrid. That match should have been. I'm. I don't think it's outrageous to say Liverpool should have had that match won by 6-0. We were so much better than Madrid. I mean, the only shot I can remember them having was Jude Bellingham, who is, by the way, I know there's a lot of England fans that like Jude. I'm starting to get to the point with Bellingham. Don't get me wrong, he's a world class player. He's coming across as a bit of a weapon. I've got to be honest, to use the Scouse expression. The complaining the man did last night, it was just absolutely. And I mean, how Vinicius Junior was not sent off for that dive when he was already on a yellow, I do not know. And just to compound it, that penalty, I mean, it's a disgrace. How on earth that gets overturned? I mean, basically, it's basically caught the ball with his hand, and it's blatantly in the area. And the VAR's like, oh no, not only is it not in the area, he didn't handball it. And man, like, are you completely stupid? Like, what do you think this is? It's not your arse, is it? You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm sat there like shouting my head off, this, that, and the other. The wife comes back downstairs. Will you keep it down? And I'm like, whatever, go. Now I realise I've told my wife to go away, so I have to go back upstairs. I'm sorry, wife. This, that, and the other. Back downstairs, and then Liverpool score, and then yeah, it was all manner of chaos. So yeah, I don't know. Is there any hope for Liverpool? Absolutely, Eric Boy. We are the Premier League champions, and we are going to overturn our 7-point deficit to Arsenal and win the Champions League and the Premier League. Yeah. No, to be honest, I'm just going to call you Eric, but to be honest, Ericy boy, Erky boy. I'm just going to call you Erk. To be honest, in terms of the league, no chance. I think we're too far off. I can't see Arsenal. I know they've thrown the league away at least once in the last 3 years, and they've basically tripped themselves up, and they should have maybe won by now. I look at them in the minute, I just don't see any weaknesses. I mean, I can't even remember the last time Arsenal conceded a goal. They're that good. I'm actually getting to the point where I think Arsenal could have the league won by March. Quite honestly, I just don't see a world when they lose the league. I mean, the only other thing in terms of drop points, I mean, obviously you'd think that Arsenal's hardest games are going to be us and Man City. Now they still have to go to City. I think this is the year that they beat City at the Etihad. I can't see Man City getting anything from that, to be honest. And then the only other hope is us getting something from the Emirates. I mean, our record, the Etihad, is absolutely diabolical. Our record at the Emirates isn't quite as bad, but it's. I've been a Liverpool fan for 36 years, and honestly, I think we've won away at Arsenal 7 times, maybe 8 at a push in all that time. So I just can't see. I mean, obviously they've still got to go to. They've got to go away to Chelsea. They've got North London Derby. But I mean, how many times did Tottenham beat Arsenal? Not very often. Villa away, Newcastle at home, maybe. Other than that, you start looking at the fixtures they've got already, and you're like, well, who's taking any points off them? So I think the only hope is like basically Liverpool. Liverpool need to be within 4 or 5 points of Arsenal, and then they've got to go to the Emirates and not only draw, they need to beat them. I just can't see it. I could see Arsenal actually now, after we beat them, going unbeaten until the end of the season. It wouldn't surprise me. I think, to be honest, to be depressing, although we'll probably be very pleased. I think Arsenal will win the league by between 15 and 20 points, to be quite honest. But hopefully I'm wrong. We'll have to wait and see. There you go. Playing with so much belief, it won't last. I meant now at the end. Boy, I'm not sure about that. I hope you're right. I keep getting my heart broken. Oh, dude, yeah, no. Best to be pessimistic and get a nice surprise. To be honest, Eric Boy, I'm kind of in your camp because of my issues with depression and stress and anxiety. I tend to be glass half empty, but I mean, look, if anyone can do this, it's the lads. I mean, they've done some ridiculous things the last 8 years. I mean, if you'd have told me we were going to win the European Cup after we lost 3-0 in Barcelona, I would have laughed in your face. If you told me when we went extra time against Chelsea, when we basically had the Liverpool baby squad, if you told me we were going to win 1-0 via a Virgil van Dijk header, I would have laughed in your face. I know we didn't win the league, but if you told me I want to say it was January 2022, when I think we were 12 points behind Arsenal, was it Arsenal? No, Manchester City, that we would finish literally a point behind Manchester City and nearly win the league, I would have laughed in your face. But, so the lads can do it, and they have done some ridiculous things over the years. I mean, obviously, you've got the all-time thing, you've got the European Cup, but I can't. I definitely think Champions League is possible in terms of the league. I hope they're proven wrong, but I just can't say it, to be honest. Well, for a football fan, yeah, absolutely. Damien Castillo, hello Damien, nice to speak to you again. You're all right, pal. WWE is not scripted. Whoever says that obviously never watched WWE in their life. Yeah. Swami on Decks. That's a very cool name, sir. WWE is more real than UFC. Well, Swami, after the events of this week, who knows how real UFC is actually. I hope no one's put any betting slips on the next WWE event. Put it that UFC event. Put it that way. Yeah, like I said, I actually really want. I really want Ariel Helwani to get into the ring with Ronda Rousey at the minute. I would pay at least 30 quid to watch that. Yeah, but this is Ariel Helwani, so I doubt that he would take that offer. And I don't think he has the intention of speaking to on his podcast, because I don't. Hopefully, Ariel Helwani hears this, but I don't think Mr. Helwani has the cojones, to be quite honest. Did I mention Liverpool? Sorry, I'll stop it now. I'll stop it. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap up in a minute. Let me just read one more comment. Honestly, I do still agree, Eric Wood. I do get really frustrated with Liverpool play. There we go. Cool. Right. Hi, Starboy. Yes, right, folks. It is like 2 minutes past midnight, and some of us, well, best, I'm sure most of us need to go to work and this, that, the other, so I'm going to start wrapping this up now. Right, so in terms of stuff that I've got coming up, I haven't got my laptop open, so let me just try and think of this stuff to bed. Right, I'll be back on tomorrow night at 10:30. I'll be doing an AEW wrap-up, which no doubt will turn into I'm sure that will end up turning into a preview of Liverpool Man City. Yeah, no, it'll be AEW Dynamite wrap-up at 10:30 tomorrow. The next night, just bear with me. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this Predator thing because of the aforementioned idiots from the DWP. I'm going to try my best to try and get scrape some money for a ticket. If I do, I'll be doing live reactions for that. Obviously, there's Toy Shorts Friday anyway. And, those of you who like your stadium tours, this week's stadium tour is, where did I go in the summer? The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah, I went to Tottenham during the summer, so I did like a boatload of like stadium tours. So I went to Tottenham. It's not very long. My stadium tours are usually like 20 to 15 minutes, but the Tottenham one, I'm just going to warn you, is about 4 minutes, because basically, long story short, you can't actually see too much of that stadium at all. Honestly, it's like something out of bloody Prisoner Cell Block H or bloody Pentagon. You could barely even bloody get near the stadium. So yeah, that'll be Friday. Saturday, I'll be doing a late night SmackDown show. Old school Remix Man. Hello, Remix Man. How you doing, dude? You all right? I'm assuming Remix dance. If so, I was also a massive dance head back in the day, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I can't get no sleep, all that. God, those are the days, crikey. No more dancing for me now. So yeah, SmackDown live reaction will be around 11 o'clock Sunday, Saturday night even. And I'm the only American here. Good lad. And then what am I doing on Sunday? Oh yes, the Mighty Reds. So I'm not sure, folks, because basically, look, I'll be honest with you. long story short, I'm not sure if me and the lads are going out to get tanked to watch the football. Um, Mate, are you a bloody Aussie? Nope, definitely not an Aussie. I am from Leeds, but I have a Brummie accent. So yeah, basically, that's why I might sound like an Aussie. I don't think Birmingham and Australia sounds the same. I don't know. Yeah, long story short, I don't know if I'm going out with the lads to go and get tanked during watching the Manchester City and Liverpool game. I've got no idea at the minute. So if it's me just watching it here, then I will probably do a live reaction again about 10:30 on Sunday night. If not, it will probably be about 5, 6 o'clock on the Monday evening. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing just at this precise minute. So yeah. Um, Good. I love Leeds. I was born there. Family from West Ham. Oh, you were born in Leeds. Oh, nice one, dude. Nice one. Um, yeah. More people from Leeds. Cool. Yeah, I was born at St James's Hospital in 1980. Yeah, that's how old I am, basically. Funnily enough, I actually work there now as well. Spoiler alert. Yeah. And I think that's everything that I've got coming up at the minute. I've got a load of shows. I think I've set the schedule for about 48 in the next 65 days, which might have been going a bit over the top slightly, but currently in Newcastle. Oh, dude, what a city! I absolutely love Newcastle, mate. I've had some right nights there over the years. Last time I was out in Newcastle was when Anthony Joshua fought. I was going to say Isaac, but Jesus Christ, that'd be a match, wouldn't it? Usyk. Honestly, I'm trying to think what the bar was. What the hell was that bar? It's this really, really packed bar where you go upstairs and there's loads of room, but it's like this kind of really small, narrow bar. Um, but yeah, there we go. I don't know. Mate, I'm in the States right now for some bloody reason. YouTube Live is sending you all over the American states. Oh, cool. Hello, America. How you doing? Uh, should I say this? I don't know. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, no, I'll keep that to myself. I was just going to say something about a thing that happened the night before in America. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that route. So yeah, yeah, it's nice to be seen in America though. I'm going to give you a fancy straight away. Oh, cheers, my man. Cheers. I've completely forgotten what the hell I was talking about now. To be honest, I've completely and utterly forgot. This is the joys of stress and anxiety and just being a bit of an ADHD like weird kid. Yeah, I cannot remember for the life of me what was talking about. Oh yeah, so next week, obviously Liverpool are on international break. So if you are a Liverpool fan, I will be doing a couple of shows just to get us through the international break because the international break sucks donkey arse. It is like the worst thing ever in the history of the world. Thankfully, we've only got one more now until late March, thank Christ. I'm just trying to think what else I've got coming up. I've got a couple of like vlogs coming up. I've got one when I went to Transformers World. That was pretty cool. Actually, it's not actually called Transformers World. It's a Transformers store in Battersea in London. That's coming up in the next couple of weeks. That was awesome. I absolutely love doing that because I love my toys and comics and like I'm actually an old school Transformers fan. I started collecting Transformers comics in 1984. I've actually still got the original runs upstairs in my bedroom, like the ones that came from the States. Not in mint condition because I've drawn all over them, sadly, but yeah, I've still got them upstairs. What else have I got? I've got a couple of tours coming up with Sheffield Red Brick Market, which is like this cool indie goth type market thing. So I like my horror things and stuff, so that's coming up. I'm trying to think what else. I'll be covering John Cena's speakers. This is meant to be a WWE stream. To end it with WWE, I'll be covering John Cena's last ever match, which is Saturday night's main event on December the 13th. I'll be back on for Survivor Series. I might even do a watch along. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, basically there's a boatload of stuff that's coming on. If you want to subscribe, as per usual, it's at GeekBoyMeta7381. More than welcome to join. Honestly though, guys, If you just want to come on and chat to me about anything, you don't have to subscribe. I'm not a pushy little bugger, basically, and I'm happy to speak to anyone about anything as long as it's wrestling, footy, comic books, toys and collectibles, pride, definitely horror, because I absolutely love my horror. Yeah, just anything you want to talk about, you're more than welcome to, basically. No, come on, mate, no one's going to nick you. Mate, these British yanks, they see you as a black guy, and he has the British accent, they're going to think that you put on the farce. Yeah, probably. You're American, to where you live, from what country? Oh, there we go. Go on then, I'll say it. I'm really hoping no one's going to shout at me for this. I was quite pleased with what happened in New York yesterday. I will just leave it at that. But yes, there we go. Right, folks. Anyway, I've got a dash because I actually have job part 2 to go to in about 5 hours' time. Yes, but yeah, cool. Thanks everyone for watching. It's been a pleasure to speak to you all. Like honestly, thanks for talking to me and everything. Thanks Old School Remix as well, dude. You seem like a very interesting guy. I'd be happy to speak to you once again. Depression talk. I know you're not on, but leave it with us, dude. I'm going to have a look at your channel because I definitely will be interested in subscribing to you. With your mental health issues and stuff, if you've got the same as me, you know, thank you for being open and honest about it. And again, just to end, guys, I know this is a bit of a random thing. If you have got any sort of mental health things, or if you just need someone to speak to, do not suffer in silence, and always go and speak to someone. It's not worth losing your life over stupid crap like your job or just arseholes who happen to inconvenience you. It's honestly, take it from someone that nearly went down that road. It isn't worth it, and it's just go and enjoy your lives basically. But always make sure you speak to someone. Do you not have any traffic wardens? Do we have any traffic wardens? Kind of. I think we've got those people that like put those random stickers on people's cars when they've been in parking bays too long. We've got lollipop ladies. Have we still got lollipop ladies? You know, like the crossings and stuff. I think we have. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, and I was just gonna say as well. Thank you, Mile High, to you as well, lad. Thank you for sticking with the whole thing. It's really appreciated. Who else was on earlier? Oh, I'm him. Yeah, you will. You nearly got me with that username, dude. But thank you, and as always, thank you to Mystical Red for joining in as well. Up the mighty Reds! Come on, Liverpool! And also as well, as always, thank you to Johnny, dude. You're an absolute ledge, and thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it, mate. Honestly. But yeah, if anyone wants to see me again with my wacky stories tomorrow, I will be back on at about 10:30 tomorrow for AEW live reaction. So yes, thank you all for watching, and I'm going to see you all very, very soon tomorrow. See you later, guys. Bye bye.